Hey there, Chris Busy of Just Coaching here with part number 3 of how to find yourself more attractive. Now, hopefully you have watched parts 1 and 2. If you haven't, then check in the notes, go and watch them, listen to them, and follow the advice contained within. I'm going to be diving into more techniques about how to find yourself attractive right now, starting with holding yourself to the same standards as everyone else. Now, I'm a big fan of women supporting women, particularly on Instagram. I think that if you go back to kind of my teen years and you look at the kind of size 0 movement, that really messed up a lot of people. So I really like it when a woman puts a picture of herself up and then you have this other woman just going bang, bang, bang with comments just saying how wonderful and awesome and incredible she looks. And just that complete level of acceptance and positivity. It's really, really great. But people don't do that for themselves. And this is what we need to start doing. So let's say a woman puts a picture up and there's a little bit of a muffin top there. No one is commenting and saying, oh yeah, you look great, apart from that muffin top there. What's that about? That's not attractive. But guarantee if you've got a picture of yourself and there's a bit of a muffin top showing, you are there going, wow, I can't post that on Instagram because I've got a muffin top. I don't look sexy because I've got that muffin. I don't feel attractive because I've got that muffin top. But you will be lighting a fire and building up the positivity inside another woman if she had that on her. So this is, you absolutely, categorically must hold yourself to exactly the same standards as everyone else, because otherwise you're never ever going to feel good about yourself. I mean, what makes you so special that you get treated differently to everyone else? Tell me. So treat yourself like you treat the other people. So give that positivity, give that level of positivity, give that level of acceptance, give that level of kind of love that you give to other people when they put their pictures up or you see them in person or whatever it might be. Do all of that, but to you, because you're not so special that you don't deserve the same treatment. #truthbomb. Oh, I love what you're wearing. Oh, this old thing. Oh, you look lovely today. Oh, what? I'm really tired. I barely slept last night. I mean, look at these bags. You can put your shopping in them. Why is it so impossible for people to take compliments? Now, part of not feeling attractive is not being able to accept for a moment you could possibly be thought of as attractive by anybody else. And if someone tells us that, we look good, we'll make an excuse. We'll just deny it. We'll just absolutely vehemently deny that we could possibly look good or anyone could possibly find us attractive. Why? Well, the downside, in our heads at least, is that if we were to take a compliment from somebody, then we're going to instantly turn into this raving egomaniac who will go around like flaunting themselves, thinking they're the most attractive person in the world. Seriously? Also, by disagreeing with someone when they say they look good, it's less like holding a middle finger up to their opinion and just going, no, you're completely wrong. I mean, that's a little bit rude, don't you think? And think about it, there isn't actually a downside to saying, oh, thank you so much, I really appreciate you saying that. I mean, you're not saying, oh, you're wrong. You're not necessarily disagreeing with them, not necessarily agreeing with them. It's like, thank you so much, I really appreciate you saying so. What's the problem with saying that? Comments. What's wrong? Why can't you just say that? Now, compliments are really lovely, and when you get a nice compliment, it does, or should at least, make you feel a little bit better about yourself. However, compliments should not form how good you feel about yourself. They should be a validation to what you already know. I mean, if you already know you're attractive and someone says it, it's just like that little bit of validation of, yeah, I am attractive because, I'm getting that kind of validation back. But you cannot build a foundation for feeling attractive upon compliments, because the more weight you put on compliments, the more insults, if they ever come along, will bring you down again. We'll get into this more at the end of this when we talk about letting go of other people's opinions. So take compliments on board, learn to accept them, but do not rely upon them as a source of complete validation or how attractive you are. it can often be the case that when we place a photo up on Instagram, or we catch ourselves in the mirror, or we see ourselves in some way or another, we stop and ask ourselves, am I hot in this photo? Does this look good? Do I look good? It's really positive to actually just stop asking yourself that question, flip a couple of words around and actually just make a statement. So when you're putting a picture on Instagram, wondering, kind of almost asking your followers and saying, do I look good? No, don't say that. Put it up thinking, I do look good, or I do look attractive, or I am attractive. And flip it around. So rather than asking the question, which, there's a yes or there's a no, or there's a million possible answers, just make a statement. It's like, I look good. I'm not saying put that as the accompanying blurb around the photo, but just put it up with the attitude of, I look good, I look attractive, I look hot, rather than putting it up with the mindset of asking the question. I know that's a very subtle tweak, but it's one which can actually help you feel more attractive. The I am exercise. Now, this is another written exercise, and it's a slightly strange one, but I do think there's a huge amount of value in it, so bear with me on this one. Now, this is one of the biggest exercises, the most powerful exercises that I did to start feeling like I was more attractive. And what it is to write down, imagine there's like a perfect version of you at some point in the future. There's this perfect version of you, and you're going to write down everything that they are, but you're going to write it in the present tense. So not I will be, but I am. So you can write down all of your wildest dreams and aspirations, but write them as if they have already happened. So this is like visualizing how you're going to be. So for instance, I might, you can also write down the things that you currently are, which you like about yourself, which you would like to continue being. So for me, for example, I was writing down things like, I am a good father, I am empathetic, I am compassionate, I am caring, and things like that. So those are the things which I felt were true at that time, but in order to get the most power out of the exercise is to really think about what this perfect version of you, what attitude they would have towards themselves. So you could write down, and I did write down things like, I am handsome, I am sexually attractive, I am desirable, which were things which were the wildest, crazy thought to be thinking that I am those things, because I absolutely thought that I wasn't those things. You can also include things that you want to be able to do. So I think at that time I was really interested in learning to play the piano. So I actually wrote down, I am a concert pianist. Now, that's going crazy far into, but there's no harm in actually doing that. You could just write down, I am a pianist, or I am a guitarist if you wanted to at some point learn the guitar or learn the piano. So I think I actually wrote down on the list, I am sexually attractive and I am hot as fuck. So those are things, like I said a minute ago, these were as far as possible from how I actually felt at the time. But by writing them down, it's like, that's how I am going to be in the future. Now, this list is a nice thing to kind of carry around with you. It's a nice thing to kind of put up somewhere and just say, look, I am these things. I am this. Because it takes this visualization of this perfect version of you and brings it into the present for you to kind of really focus upon. Now, we fast forward to now, compared to when I wrote the list, however long ago that was, and I am sexually attractive. I can say that now. And this is the thing, that by saying that, some people think, well, no, he's not, because I don't fancy him at all. But that's fine, because like we said, attractiveness is subjective, whereas some people might be thinking, wow, oh god, that was awkward. But just by being able to say I am sexually attractive and believing it is a world away from where I was. Now, as to saying I am hot as fuck, less belief in that one, but I'm closer to feeling hot as fuck than I was before, where I didn't feel that whatsoever. And I haven't made any progress or attempted anything to do with trying to learn the piano, but I can still have up on a list, I'm a concert pianist, because I could still, in theory, put my time and effort and things into that. But Yeah, this I am exercise brings your strongest desires about how you would like to feel about yourself and how you would like to be, brings them into the present and brings focus upon what you really, really want and how you want to feel. So write down your I am statements as if they are, how you are in this perfect version of yourself, but write it down as an I am, not an I will be. Write them down, believe in them, check back on them, and just you will feel the benefits of doing so. Right, here is the big one. Stop caring what other people think. Now, this is one of these things where everyone would like to stop caring what other people think, but then they would equally straight away go, well, easier said than done, isn't it? Like, yes, it is easier said than done, but try and name me one thing that isn't easier said than done. Let's be clear, and I've covered this in previous blogs and said it multiple times, it's one of the things that I really, when I'm working with clients, this is one of the things I like to get into their heads very, very early on, this idea of control, in that we only ever control our thoughts and our actions. So anything that isn't our thoughts and isn't our actions is not within our control, and it is something that we should let go of. Easier said than done, not going to disagree with you on that. But put it this way, you could spend hours and hours making yourself look amazing. You do your makeup, or you trim your beard, or I don't shine my head, but it looks like it in this light. So you do whatever you want to do to make yourself look and feel attractive. Put on your very favourite outfits, shine your shoes, and do everything that makes you feel as hot as you possibly think. And you could walk out the door, and someone could turn around and look at you and go, "You look like shit." Now, if you were to take notice of this comment, then you would then think that even your very best looks like shit. Not very helpful, is it? So that's their opinion, and they're entitled to it, and you are equally entitled to completely ignore it and say whatever you like back to them. I'd suggest just ignoring someone like that. But it's so much more powerful and so much more helpful to you to do things like I've suggested in the last two parts and in the start of this part, and actually start accepting yourself, moving through to liking yourself, and then eventually getting to the point where you love yourself. And loving yourself is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing at all. It's an incredibly helpful thing. And once you're at that point, then maybe that comment just flies straight over your head and you don't care about it whatsoever. Or better still, you don't even need to upload the photo to Instagram to get the likes, because the likes don't mean anything to you. So with Instagram and things like that, the amount of likes, it's something which needs to be completely ignored. So let's say you put a photo up. Now, if you put one photo up and you get 60 likes, does that mean you're more attractive in that picture than if it only got 50 likes? So would 100 mean that you're God's gift, and 0 mean that you are completely hideous? If you put a photo up, if it hits a certain amount of likes, is that the tipping point between you feeling attractive or not? Let's think about it. A like is just someone going, tap, tap. That's it. Are you really going to let a double tap from a certain amount of people define whether you are attractive or not? And let's say you get all sorts of amazing amounts of likes and these incredible compliments coming through. That's really, really good. However, it's important to stay grounded with this. Like I said a little bit earlier, the compliments are great, but you need to kind of not give them too much weight, because the more weight you give to compliments, that's the more weight you're giving to people's opinions, which means it's the more weight you're giving to people's unkind comments, shall we say. So if you are relying on that, or listening to comments, or keeping an eye on likes, you are essentially taking how you feel about yourself, taking your validation and reaching out and saying, could you hold on to this for me, please? And people may well go, yeah, I can hold that to you, and lift you up into the sky and make you feel incredible. Or they might go, actually I'm busy, and drop it on the floor. Total honesty, I have been like this in the past. I've been very guilty of posting up a photo, normally to get a particular person's attention, as to say, here's a picture of my fitness progress. And admittedly, maybe 30 to 40% of why I was putting it up is to kind of like put a marker out there, put something out there. I'm proud of myself and what I've done. But the other kind of 60, 70% was there going, I really hope this particular person sees this photo. Maybe they'll like it and maybe they'll comment on it. Oh God, how good it would be if they left a comment saying I looked really, really hot. Can I just tell you how much of a bad idea it is? It's really, 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 really bad idea. Please, 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 don't do that. I know it's so tempting. It's so tempting. Don't do it, please. I think I've made it super clear. Don't do that. This is the ultimate validate me action. It's like just throwing your self-worth off of a cliff and just hoping one particular person is going to dive off of the cliff and catch it and hold on to it and lift it up and say, here you go, you are amazing. Oh God, don't do it. Now, I would do this and then I'd spend the day checking my Facebook story or my Facebook to see if the likes have come up on my Instagram story or wherever I put it up. Be there going, God, I really, really hope they've seen it. Oh, and there's no way to win. Every time you go and check back and they haven't done anything, you just leave it feeling awful. And if they see it and then they haven't done something that makes you feel even worse, your self-worth should not be in the hands of one single other person. So if you're doing that in any way, shape or form, please stop. And it reached a point where I actually stopped and asked myself, why the actual fuck am I putting my self-worth out there in the hands of one other person who may not even go on social media on any particular day, just to get a like or a double tap or a comment, a beautiful comment. It's embarrassing. That's what it is. Ultimately, it's an embarrassing thing to end up doing. I mean, literally, the algorithm may not even show them that photo. They may not even go on social media on that day. They might just be really, really busy. They might have other things that are going on in their life, which is entirely likely. And you're there putting your validation in that person's hands. And you just end up checking social media all day and feeling like an absolute moron. Don't do it. So just to be absolutely clear, don't put anything on social media unless it is for you and no one else, for you. Conclusion on finding yourself more attractive. Now, I really hope that you enjoyed this 3-part series. Please watch all 3 parts. I think there's really valuable information in each and every part. Now, what I have included in this, my kind of personal level stories and the things, I've done most of them. And I've taken most of them on board as a thing. And I've gone from feeling ridiculously unattractive to now thinking that I'm a good looking guy, I'm sexually attractive, I'm a decent human being, and I have so many great other qualities as well. And this is the thing, one of the, perhaps even the biggest thing of all that you need to realize, that attractiveness is not this. It's not just this. It is your passions. It is your hobbies. It's your ideologies. It's your intelligence. It's your humor. It's what you're like to be around. It's whether you can support someone. It's your level of empathy. It's so many more things than what you look like. Now, in this time that I went from feeling really unattractive to feeling pretty good about myself, there were no major cosmetic surgeries. I didn't lose or gain any massive amounts of weight. Nothing changed with regards to how I actually looked. The only thing that changed was my mindset towards my body and my mindset towards myself. Now, if you had a partner, let's say you were with someone and they were supportive, they were funny, they were really great to be around, you were sexually compatible, you were into the same things sexually, you had similar hobbies, you like the sort of same takeaway, you like doing things together. Imagine you had all that, but when you looked at them, they weren't the prettiest person in the world. They were okay, but they weren't the sexiest person alive. Would you just then drop all of that because they weren't handsome, but they were absolutely everything else? Yes, looking at someone and finding them attractive physically is important, but it is only a small part of a much, much bigger picture about an all-round holistic partner who is going to be so much more to you than what they look like. You are attractive because you are you. Take the time, put the effort and energy into the things that I've suggested. I'm testament to how effective they can be. So put your time and energy into those things. Make the effort and start finding the things about yourself which make you attractive. Find those things, because your attractiveness is so much more than what you see in the mirror. If you'd like some help with feeling more attractive, self-confidence, anxiety, or setting goals within your life, then do get in touch with me. I'm a life coach and a cognitive behavioural hypnotherapist, and I can give you a completely free one-on-one consultation where we can look into what's going on in your life, things you'd like to change, and see whether we could be a good fit and work together. If you're interested in that, then head to gystcoaching.co.uk. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you for another video soon.